Sarah and I, and you see a motorhome here, and a dear sister from Washington State standing beside us, and her name is Barb Baker. She and her husband Don have made this vehicle possible. It's something we've really been praying about. As some of you that get the newsletter, you saw there that we were asking people to help, and God worked out the details, because really man could not have arranged what happened here. It's just a divine appointment from God. And so we just want to thank you, Barb, and your husband for being willing to sell the motorhome at the price you're selling it to us, which is just a miracle in our eyes, really is. And just maybe to share with us a little bit what prompted you to come to this point that we could get the motorhome here.
Well, my husband was at a point where he couldn't drive it anymore, and so we decided to sell it. And people from our church knew we were selling it, and this man that gets your newsletter regularly came up to me one Sunday morning, and he said, "This ministry is looking for a motorhome." And I said, "Well, Eli, this is just like ours." He says, "Yeah, I know." And he said how much you were planning on paying for it, and I said, "Well, we're asking quite a bit more than that." And he said, "Yeah." And to make a long story short, we thought about it for quite a while, and I thought, well, it would really be nice to have our motorhome go to God's ministry. And talked to my husband, and he agreed, and we decided. My son-in-law drove it out for us, and here we are.
What a blessing! You know, the uniqueness yet about this is, it's not somebody that has known the ministry the past 10, 15 years, but more the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
That's what's so unique, is how God orchestrated it to put it together, and he needed somebody to be the go-between person, and this Eli, that was out in Washington, that has been involved in our prison crusades, is the one God used.
Yeah.
And that just is so, to me, is just such a God thing, and how God put it and orchestrated and put it together. And we want to thank also her son-in-law, who is also here, and he drove all the way from Washington, and what a blessing that they were willing to bring that motorhome. I get all choked up, but it's a blessing, a great blessing.
It's a blessing for us too, to know that it's going to be used for God's work, and we'll all be together someday in heaven.
Amen.
That's the beauty about God's children, is we haven't known each other. Today's the first time we met, and the beauty is someday all of God's people will meet together, and you'll hear all kind of glory stories.
Yeah.
But to me, this is a glory story of what God has done. And so I want to thank you that are supporting the ministry, standing with us, because really every person that helps the ministry, we couldn't do what we do if you wouldn't do what you do. In the same way with the motorhome, we could not go out, for Sarah and I, could not go out and do what we do if it wouldn't be for a vehicle that enables us to go out, to take us place to place, to share the love of Christ. So we want to say thank you, and God bless you so much.
Well, we're just pleased to be able to do it, and God is sovereign, and we give him the glory.
Praise God.